Our Masters podcast here in 2019 is from the Dominican Republic, Hard Rock Casino Hotel Punta Cana. Jason Iacovino, Phil Iacovino. Thanks for tuning in. KRFORadio.com. Phil, you're married now.
That's right. Yeah. Wifed up.
How'd that go?
Felt pretty cool. Pretty
fun.
epic day and night yesterday.
Yep. And you did it during the third round. As we're recording now, Tiger Woods, I think, is about to tee off or just did.
He's on. I think he at this time.
I'm gonna pull up my phone.
He's on hole 2 or 3. I guess.
As you're getting married,
anyway. Tiger
Tiger Woods is in the midst of his 67, and look, this is 3 rounds in, but you gonna bet against him?
He's still got a big mountain to climb. This is Tiger Woods 3.0. And he's only proven to us that he can beat a field of 35 guys. So
Right.
I think people will bet against him, yes.
Will you bet against him? I'm looking at Molinari.
Man, I'll bet with my heart and say no. No.
So which of these guys? Brooks Koepka's won 3 majors in the last 2 years. Is that right?
Brooks Koepka is the best player in the world.
So Brooks Koepka's won 2 U.S. Opens and a PGA in the last 3 years.
Correct.
Tony Finau's never won on the PGA Tour.
Yes, he has. He won actually.
And nothing that I've known.
He won in an off season,
That
or
doesn't
an off
count.
week of it.
That
You
doesn't
got him a
count.
3-year exemption. I think it counts.
And Molinari is a good player, obviously, and he's got the 2-shot
Molinari
lead.
is ridiculously good.
So
he won a
you're-
major
so
championship, and he's already
You're
won
saying
this
it's
year.
one of those 2 guys, other than, we haven't talked about Xander Schauffele. Kuchar is he's 2 shots below Tiger. Oosthuizen, I think it's Tiger, Phil. I think when we're here an hour and a half from now, I think it's a victory lap at that point.
I mean, that would probably cap off the best week of my life.
Well, I think either
For
way,
personal
you did okay
reasons,
this week,
obviously, but yeah.
That's what I just don't. Yesterday you're looking up there, you see Dustin Johnson, you see these other names. I don't know if Webb Simpson's a big name or not, and they all kind of went away except for Koepka.
Yeah. I mean, it's moving day at the Masters, and people move up and down. And some of the leaderboard was almost 2-star packed, and honestly, it was tough for me to follow any of it. But thankfully, I invited the right people, and they showed up to this wedding, so I was able to watch some of Tiger on the back nine.
Not everybody gets to have a wedding in the Dominican. Just tell me about the whole day.
It was great.
Yeah.
We got married on a beach, beautiful ceremony.
Absolutely.
Went over and had some drinks, a nice little cocktail hour, and then.
And then the one thing.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
You were the best man, and thank you so much for that.
Yep, no problem.
I can't
You're
tell
my
you how
brother.
many people came up to me and mentioned, hey, your brother, he knocked it out of the park with that best man speech, and I couldn't agree more. So hopefully somebody got that on video.
We had a
'cause that's pretty
DJ
cool.
and then we had a live band.
Yes.
And you really couldn't tell the difference. I mean, the live band was amazing.
The live band was amazing as
But
well.
the other thing,
Yeah.
I've never been to a wedding before where they just come up to you with another drink, asking for another drink like every 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And
The
it's one thing to
service
have an
was
open bar.
good.
It's another to have people that are like, and I don't know if that's just because I was in the wedding party or if they did that for
No,
everybody.
I think they were doing that for
Oh, my
everybody.
goodness, that was
Everybody
awesome.
felt special.
That was so cool. That was a great part of it. So now we're at the Hard Rock. They had some technical difficulties with the TVs in the actual hotel rooms this morning.
What a pain.
So no TV works in any of the 5,000 beautiful hotel rooms.
1,800 rooms here.
Not a single
I
TV.
can't believe there's not like 50 people
and so
in
we've
here
so we're
trying to
watching
get,
CNBC or whatever it is, and they're going to change it to golf, but it's a 15-minute.
A technician
Yeah,
required
so
to
the
change
bar
it.
to our left
It's
has got
island
it
time
on.
in the Dominican. Let's just face that.
So they're showing Phil Mickelson there. What hole's he on?
It's hard to see from over there. I don't know.
He's got some kind of putt. On my phone, it shows that he's played 5, so that means he's on 6, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
And he's 1 under through 5 on the day.
you know,
7
usually,
under for the
so
tournament.
I just
what kind
want
of
to
chance does he
say,
have?
you can't count Phil out. He's got, what,
He just
four-
made a putt. He just made a birdie
four-
putt on
four-
6.
So he hit one to about a foot. He's at 8
So
under.
he's 8 under through 6. All right.
I'm
just
just going to preface this whole
counting
thing
the rest of
with
these guys out.
I have not watched more than 3 or 4 live shots of golf this week, so my insight's going to be very, very minimal.
We're going to bring Chase Stenzel into this. I've got Phil and Tiger, and you can take the field. Chase, your thoughts on who's going to win today?
Tiger.
Just,
There it is.
I got that too.
Chase, were you alive the last time that Tiger won a major?
Probably not.
2008. No. Yeah. You're my daughter's age, and then you're 1 year younger. She was born in 09. You have fun this week, though?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, this is it. Sort of a getting up in the morning version of the Masters podcast. And we're not going to go for the full hour as we normally do. We're probably
We've got a couple
with
other
you-
people
we'll
here,
hang,
Jay.
Hang with
Let's-
you here
let's-
for about 35, 40 minutes. We got Nick James. We got Nick James and Chris Stenzel, brother-in-law Chris. Chris, your thoughts on what's going to happen and how this is going to unfold?
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for having me, and
Wow,
congratulations
it's
to Bill.
That's what it is.
This is, well, I think, I guess I just don't have the best feeling about Tiger today. I just
Pick a
just
winner,
don't
then.
know. I don't see him holding together for 4 rounds that often since his sort of resurgence. So I think he's going to probably, end up in the top 5 or 7 and kind of won't
Wow.
be a big factor at the end. I hope
We are-
I'm
we
and
are
I
so
hope
differing,
I'm,
and it's not
I
just
hope
a
I'm
debate.
wrong.
Exactly.
I hope I'm wrong.
It's not- and
it would
yeah,
be
I think
a
we're
lot,
all- clearly we're all
it's a
cheering
lot
for
more
Tiger.
fun if he's in it. It's almost too good to hope for. That's why I sort of have prepared myself for what might be a disappointment. I think that
But you said the same
Guys
thing
like
yesterday,
Koepka-
and he shot 67.
I know I was wrong. I hope I'm wrong one more time.
Wow.
I think
So which one is
Koepka,
Finau?
I think Koepka's a
Koepka
very
is-
good bet.
Koepka
And
or Molinari.
Molinari is a very good
Yeah.
bet.
I mean, they're
he
the ones
won.
that are-
Did he win? What did Molinari win? He won the British. I mean, he's the real deal, and he's got nerves of steel too. I mean, these guys. I think what you don't understand is that the amount of pressure that is on Tiger, and the fact that it will affect him and might not always affect him in a positive way like it used to.
Yeah.
I think.
So
all right.
you're the one guy in this threesome that's actually been on the grounds at Augusta at
Yeah.
National, and they control everything. Those guys. So if I'm anything to do with that tournament, a member or a patron, or I'm running the show, I do everything in my power to make sure Tiger Woods knows that it's his day today. I think that's a factor. Am I being dumb?
In what sense? What would be a thing to know that
To
it's
do?
his day? I don't understand what you
You
mean.
shake his hand and nobody else's? I don't know. I mean,
Okay, look, Jay, Tiger's a Masters champion. Do you know, I know
Four-time.
I haven't been on the grounds, but do you know that whether you're Larry Mize or Tiger Woods or Jack Nicklaus,
You still gotta
those
play the
members treat you like you are a king for this week. So
Correct.
if anybody hasn't treated
Correct.
Tiger right today, I think they basically get to go to heaven for 1 week a year if you're a Masters champion.
But my
The
point
experience
is, these
different.
guys want Tiger to win just like we do. And they're going to do everything in their power, whether it's... And no, I do. Absolutely. I think Fred
Oh,
Ridley
I'm
wants
sure
to hand
they-
that green
I-
jacket to Tiger today.
I agree with
You
that.
kidding me? This would turn this tournament back, right back to 2005 all over again.
It's so, I mean, you didn't know what you had till it's gone. And
Oh, for
now
sure.
he's back a little bit, and people are clamoring for it. Certainly the people at Augusta are.
We do
so.
touch on other sports, of course, during the Masters podcast, and I'm going to ask you about the NBA playoffs in a sec here because I don't know anything about that other than the Wolves didn't make it, and that stuff's starting right now. You got Golden State. Chase, what do you got on that?
I can name a bunch of good teams from the side that the Timberwolves sadly got kicked away from.
What do you got in looking at the NBA playoffs? Who are you cheering for?
Well, now that the
Brown side this year?
Now that the T-Wolves stupidly didn't make it, I take the Rockets. I like them. Good team. James Harden scores 61 points a game, whatever.
Yeah, that's not bad. Warriors are the favorites, I assume, if we're going to the sports book, and yeah. So you got Rockets. What other teams would you be?
How about the Raptors losing to the Magic yesterday?
Whoa!
That was a big
In a
upset.
playoff game?
That
Who
was
lost to
big-
the
that-
Magic?
That was a big upset. Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah, Toronto.
So Toronto would be the odds-on favorite in the East, I would
I
assume.
think Milwaukee.
Okay,
Don't you
Milwaukee
think,
Bucks.
Nick?
Man,
I think Milwaukee.
This
probably.
is the most boring. And Nick's checking his phone here. Nick James, who had the groomsman in his room yesterday for a couple hours. That was really nice of you. This has got to be the most boring NBA playoff setup that I've ever seen. To me, at least.
Yeah, well, it's when you know the Warriors are going to win, and it feels like a predetermined outcome. It's not all that interesting.
Are we talking about the NBA?
Yeah, we have shifted to that.
Yeah, I got to step aside. I
I
didn't watch
that's what
one
I said.
game
I
this
just,
year.
Chase broke it down pretty well for us, but
He likes Houston.
How about if we shift to Phil's old town in Tampa in the NHL, where the odds
Okay,
on
so the Lightning are
the
pretty
Lightning
good,
are the
and
hockey's
the Wild
version of
aren't
the
in.
Warriors, and they're down 0-2
Are they to who?
to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wow. Okay.
They're down 0-2.
Another sport that I just didn't really watch at all this year because basically after the All-Star break, the Wild had like a 4-point lead in the division, and then they were the leader in the wild card, and then the last 2 weeks of the season they lost that too. So
Now they're not in the playoffs.
they finished DFL in the Central.
I think the NBA, it's be more fun to talk about next year than it is about what's going to happen here, right? I mean, next year, now Magic Johnson just resigned.
I think that the NBA offseason is probably more compelling than the actual season.
The
at
regular
this
season,
point.
yes.
Because
Yeah.
the movement of those free agents is going to determine so much as to whether or not a team can actually compete with Golden State, and to watch Golden State potentially become disbanded to some degree, as Durant almost certainly will be gone.
Gone, yeah.
And then
LeBron
to see if they
stays a
can-
Laker,
He's there for 4 years, right?
regardless. Okay,
Yeah.
so they
So
got to
it's pretty
bring
obvious
guys
that
in.
LeBron was busy making some weird show on HBO and Space Jam 2 this season, so he had other priorities.
Well, he's
And I'm
gotta do
not
that this summer.
I'm not trying to get into LeBron v. Jordan. That's not where I'm going with this. I want to ask this
I'm
to,
bored with that
to-
too.
to Chris though. Does this season or he's given us this narrative like, hey, it's all bonus. Whatever happens is a bonus. So
5 minutes and
does,
we're watching.
does this season put any sort of scar on his career or what he's accomplished?
No, I don't
No.
think so. Not at all. You got to realize he's got so many miles on those tires. It is all bonus time, I think. He's already played far more games than Michael Jordan ever did in his career, even counting his time with the Wizards. So, I mean, by then Jordan certainly wasn't himself. Now, he's
Well-
older. He was also older. Well, and LeBron, what did LeBron have this year?
So that
27, but I mean, he's still at his best. I think is probably the best player on the planet. And,
Today?
And, well, I mean, he's hurt this year. He's shut down.
Okay.
And I don't think this season was particularly good, but I don't think it tarnishes anything.
No,
No,
it
I'm
doesn't
not saying,
tarnish
okay,
anything.
so, and obviously Joe Montana's time in Kansas City doesn't tarnish his career.
Well,
But
I'll give you
can
one.
we
So-
say like, oh, this is like the Joe Montana in Kansas City, or is he still relevant and the best player?
I think he's going to try to turn it to the Masters for us here,
I
Phil.
think
Help him do that.
He's definitely
CBS,
relevant. My goodness, I think if they get,
Yes,
if the
down.
Lakers, if
make sure
they
this
got
happens.
a little desperate this year, but if they got to where they could, they could bring in a couple
All right.
free agents.
Goodbye,
I think,
meet the press. Hello,
they'll be
golf.
right back there. They'll be able to compete favorably with Golden State if Golden State isn't quite as good. So yeah,
Okay.
So
Sounds
Kirby
good.
Pucket is the best twin to ever play, and he had a short career, relatively speaking. So you could say, well, Mauer, had the long career, and other baseball players with the Twins did it longer than Kirby, but short and awesome. I don't know. It's not a great comparison because LeBron. I just want to see him come back next year and do something. That's the main thing. And nothing that happened this year tarnished it. He had no supporting cast. Those guys were terrible.
I mean, I think he's.
I mean, he had.
He's gonna. There's probably a couple negatives. I think
Ball,
he's gonna
I mean-
earn a reputation as a bit of a coach killer. I don't know what you think about that, Nick. I mean, it seems like he has trouble.
What's up
he
with the TV
basically
situation
is
here,
a
Phil?
bad GM. I mean, LeBron.
So I'll give us a live update here. It's CBS is the actual channel that's not working. So
How does it work there then?
exactly. So I think it would be a good time if we want to watch this to take a break and head over closer to the bar where we can actually see it.
So I'm going to hit pause on the recorder. We don't want to bother anybody, but we might pick this up. We might not. It's no big deal. But we got to go watch this golf. All right. Sounds good. Masters Podcast, KRFORadio.com. So as it turns out, one table over, we got the golf on TV.
Yeah, here we are. Molinari, the
This is
leader
your guy, Phil.
for birdie, of
In the
course.
third hole.
He is also one of the best players. That's in.
That's short.
Oh,
That's
boy.
short by 3 feet.
Okay.
So he's two. And again, to update us, we're watching the final round of the Masters here at Punta Cana Hard Rock Casino Hotel and Resort, and the leaders are just on the golf course. Tiger Woods is also on the third hole. I think he would have had to have finished it by now, but he's 2 back, along with Tony Finau and Brooks Koepka.
Jeez.
All 3 of them are at 11 under, and Francesco Molinari is at 13 under, leading this tournament by 2, and he's going to tap in for par on the third hole. This has got to be Tiger Woods on 4.
I don't know
assume.
what Tiger did on 2. The last shot I watched of Tiger's where he duck hooked it on 2. I don't.
But he's on the 4th hole now.
Yeah, so that was an 40
Yeah, he's
minutes
2 back.
ago.
He's 2 back. He's at 11.
Must have circled the wagons and made the 5 on 2 then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he made a 5 on 2. Finau also at 11 through 2. Koepka at 11 through 3.
So one other thing I wanted to
Yeah.
kind of recap. We haven't really done this, I guess, in the past. I mean, we have, but I think this season for Gophers men's basketball is probably noteworthy of recapping.
It was a lot of fun.
Pretty successful season, all things considered, and I mean, you guys are,
No,
very
they did.
involved.
I mean, they had some big ones at Wisconsin early in the year, and they had some close wins. They should have beat Michigan on the road. Got beat on the last second shot. Here's Tiger for birdie. That's home. That's home. He
kind of walked that
this
in,
is-
didn't he?
He absolutely did. And Phil, you guys are wrong. Just gonna say that.
Okay.
This is gonna be a victory lap.
Well, is Molinari in for par yet?
You listen to Chris laugh like I'm on crack or something.
He's got a little swagger in his walk.
Oh no, I'm excited. That's a huge pot. I mean, number 3. That's a tough. That's
But
not a
did he think that it might not have gone in?
No,
I
he
think
looked-
for a
he looked
second,
pretty good
maybe.
over it. No,
Yeah, this is my day. So he's 1 back.
Is Tiger
through
has
4.
Molinari tapped in for that par yet?
It was a
Here-
2.5 footer, but I
okay,
assume he
okay.
made it. Now here's
Oh, yeah,
Finau.
I've never
Finau's
missed a
got to wear
2.5
actual
footer.
golf clothes at this thing, right? Do they allow him on the course with that?
Say what?
That looks like a pair of jeans that he's wearing.
No, that's
Or
Nike.
some kind of
I mean,
khakis.
It's probably all approved apparel, I would guess.
It's cool, but it's a little different.
Speaking of Tony Finau, there is
Yes.
he was a guest on David Faherty's show on Golf Channel. Really cool guy. If you ever want to get to know Tony Finau and what he's about, that episode's probably available and it's worth watching.
This would be huge for him. He has
This would
not
be
won
huge
on
for-
tour yet. I mean,
He has
did
won on tour, Jay.
But what tournament was it?
He
I
won
know all the
in
events.
this country,
So that's not on tour.
or
There's no-
it was either here or Puerto
so
Rico.
that's the one where they let
Yeah,
Tony
it was
Romo
during
play
a
a couple weeks ago.
WG. Okay. Oh wow, Tony Romo. I mean,
But it was the
I
B
think we all
Squad
know where I
event.
stand
So
on
you had
that.
a World Golf Championship in Texas while it was going on here.
that
right?
was not this year. But yes, he won an
Okay.
off-peak event on the PGA Tour, and it got him a 2-year exemption. And guess what else
Okay.
it got him? He worked
Into
his
this
way
tournament.
into those WGCs, played well enough. He's in the top 20 in the world
Oh yeah,
now.
he's a great player. He's
He is a great. I mean,
great player. But this
yeah.
is be a huge day for him. Huge.
Yes, this would be a huge
This
day.
is
but,
this. So
I mean,
Tony
you make
Finau is
it.
the new Rickie Fowler. I mean, he's the guy I barked about for a long time. Hadn't
No,
won.
Rickie Fowler was marketed and is still marketed 100
way better,
times
way better.
more than
no, but
Tony
what I'm
Finau.
saying, it took a long time for Rickie Fowler to actually win. a
Okay, so
PGA
Tony
event,
Finau
or he had won for the
started
longest
his
time.
professional career. He was like the guy that used to say pressure is betting for $10 when you only had $5 in your pocket.
Okay.
He's from New Mexico. He's got 5 major. I can't think of his name. Lee Trevino.
Yeah, Koepka
So
done for
Lee Trevino went to some mini tour event in Arizona
Mm-hmm.
and was just kind of walking around. And these you don't make any money at these things. These
Right.
are like you pay
Right.
your entry fee, and if you win, you break even. He watched Finau hit like a 380-yard drive,
So-
turned around and said, "Who's this kid?" And watched him for 2-3 holes. Called his people
Absolutely.
at Callaway and said, "Let's invest in this one right here, right now."
And it has worked
and he was
out,
on
but
the mini
he's-
tour
but he's still gotta
for
win.
a couple of years after that. And then he was on Golf Channel's Big Break show. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy, his
Nicholson
parents didn't
missed
have
a
2
birdie
nickels
there.
to rub together. He was hitting one. I mean,
It's a great
it's
story.
An
So
amazing
where did he
story.
grow up?
He grew up in Utah.
Okay.
So,
A guy that looks like him and has a name.
yeah,
Finau, grew up in
he's
Utah.
Samoan. He's Samoan. His mom, I can't, and so they're Mormons, obviously.
Okay. Right.
And his family is from Samoa, and Turtle Bay Resort in Hawaii sponsored him. He spent
Yep.
a lot of time with David Ledbetter out there. So
He's another guy that'd be fun to root
yeah.
for, actually.
Yeah, no,
I feel like
it's a great story. Like
I
I
feel
said,
like-
go
but-
watch that show. It's cool. It's
But
worth
these guys are all going to watch Tiger do his thing today. I mean,
Of course.
Ian Poulter somehow has had a nice week. He's at 8 under. We saw
He is
Mickelson.
like he's the last guy I want to win.
Mickelson
Ian
missed a
Poulter.
birdie on 7. It was probably
want
about
him to
5,
miss
6
every
feet
putt.
away, and he missed a birdie that would have got him to 9. I still think 9's not going to get it done. These guys are. What's the winning score today? 15, 14.
No. I think
Lower than that?
they're going to tear it up in the back
Really?
nine. I think somebody's going to go 3 under on the back.
You
and,
think
and
16, 17 under
Yeah.
wins today? I don't think so. Chris, your thoughts on
17 wins, 16
it
playoff.
seems- I don't know how windy it is. I heard it was kind of.
Nick, hey,
It looks pretty calm. I mean, yeah, they can go pretty deep.
that? What is the record 4-round score at Augusta? But I don't think he got to 20 or anything. Nick, it was a pleasure as always. Have fun. Go to that country concert tonight. Just do it. I would.
I don't know what else you guys can, but I'll talk to you.
Absolutely.
On the chat. Send some photos around. Absolutely.
All right. So awkward silence on the radio there, but Nick James is out the
yeah,
door
this is
on
not
a
our
plane.
best production as
I think
far
this
as
is-
like.
I think it's all right.
fine.
I'm
We had a
not worried
live
about it,
audience
but-
for a while. Yeah,
So
right?
Tiger's going to hit his tee shot on the par 3 sixth
This is
hole.
this is a cute little shot. He's got to hit
Fifth
it to the
hole.
right and then try and hit that bowl and have it funnel down.
He's staring at that. I'm sorry, boys.
You got to hit that spot. Did he
No,
hit
it's
it?
short. It's short of the green.
Oh boy.
Well, it's on the green, but it's barely on the
so
green.
that's
coming
the,
back.
yeah. That's a club and a half.
Yeah. So he'll be lucky to make 3 there.
You want,
will
you
make
want any
3, but-
action on whether he makes 3?
No, he will make 3. That's what I
I
meant.
think you just said he'd be lucky to make 3.
What I'm getting at is he ain't going to make 2. So he'll still be 1 back.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he'll make 3 from there.
Here
but
comes Brooks Koepka. Shouldn't he be playing like linebacker for the Vikes? I mean,
Oh, we can bring that in. Adam Thielen, while we were on this vacation, signed a 4-year extension with the
yeah, I
Vikings.
saw that. I saw that.
Yeah. So he got paid,
By the way,
and I love him.
I think some of that is based on kind of a baseball situation where they paid him for past
What he's
production
done.
a little bit.
Well,
yeah.
they've already, if we want to talk about Vikings and money, it all starts with Kirk Cousins. And we can get into that deeply, but
So
I think Thielen's going to be good, though, for a few
Yeah,
years.
of
don't
course,
you?
of
I don't
course.
think his talent's not
Of
going
course. One thing to touch on Kirk Cousins is kind of a little all over, but he gave the Final Four was just in Minneapolis. He gave the pregame speech
For the
to
Spartans.
Michigan State in the Final Four, and Twitter
How'd
was
that work out?
Twitter was not kind to Kirk Cousins after that.
It's
That was,
like, what do they say? Texas Tech all day. As soon as
yeah,
that
oh
tweet
yeah,
came out,
Kirk's
Bet
giving
the
the
farm on
pregame
Texas Tech.
speech, put it all, and afterwards those state fans were just, that was good.
I mean, I do like Kirk. I think Kirk's a good guy. I think he's trying to be a good, nice guy.
This kid right
What
here,
was
this
that
Xander
like?
Schauffele,
That's
he's
great
another
story.
interesting story.
Yep, he and his
so
father.
Earl Woods famously
Yep,
raised
yep.
the best player
Correct.
in
Best
the history
father,
of the
son.
game.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if they had a great relationship, but
No, in terms of turning your son
of course.
into a golfer.
Well, Xander's
Yeah. Sorry,
dad
Chase, I
might
don't know
be
if it
a close
might
second.
work out for you too.
Those two have but I think it was
Correct.
done in a way that was a little bit more healthy. Like his first tournament that Xander played in, and his dad is a good player.
He's just on his ass the whole time.
No, he left him and said, "Figure it out." Like, I'm not kidding. Like, he basically said the kid's gonna. They'd played plenty of rounds together. I mean, as a junior, I think he was probably 8
I
or
saw
9
that
years
feature on Golf Channel yesterday as well. It was like, he still sucks.
old. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah,
Well, he's got a couple short shots in his short game. He's got a couple short shots that he doesn't have yet.
right.
It's like,
So,
are you kidding me?
I mean, maybe that's the kind of tough love
They're
is a
hilarious.
good. That's also a good love.
So where is he from?
I'm not sure. I think he's from California.
Okay.
He's He's famously in that class of 2011, along with
Sure.
Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas,
Yep.
Patrick Cantley. That kind of the super
Uno más
crew.
cerveza, por favor.
Dos.
Dos cerveza.
Oh,
Tres cerveza.
tres cerveza, por favor.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or
That's how we order
what they've
drinks
been
here
call,
in
what they've been
the
calling it
Dominican.
is the agua de Dominica.
So back to Schauffele.
Yeah, just
Yeah, it's a good
kind of
story.
just a good story.
And he's won a few times.
He hasn't.
has not
He
won?
has one win. He won the Tour Championship 2 years ago, which
Okay.
is a field of 35 guys. However, or 30
The
guys,
best 35.
you have to
Get
make
there.
it through the
So
playoffs.
you have to
get
play
there.
really well
So
to
that's
get there.
another little asterisk
That's the one
that
knock.
people put on Tiger's victory. Oh, he only beat 30 guys.
Yeah, Steve Elkington went off
Of
on that
course,
a little
Elk's
bit.
great, but yeah, you
he's
know,
like, well, that wasn't. That ain't a
I
win,
think,
mate.
I think Elk is sitting a little bit.
That ain't
too
a win,
deep.
mate.
He's sitting very deep into his chair and very relaxed with his commentary. Like, Elk, nobody know. Like, I'm a golf nerd, so I know who you are. Nobody else does.
Prettiest swing in history, though,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, for sure.
Prettiest swing in history, Chris said.
Steve Elkington has one of the most absolutely gorgeous golf swings that you've ever seen.
But he drinks. He and
And
JD,
I don't know if that matters to this discussion, whether and how
I think it
deeply he's
does.
sitting in his chair. But oh boy, it's some poetry in motion. Okay.
But
He did okay. Famously 6 and 8 though, right? Or,
absolutely.
I mean, didn't Tiger wax him? Or 8 and 6?
What are you talking about? You talking about the Stephen Ames?
Oh, that's Stephen
Stephen
Ames. I'm
and that
sorry.
wasn't 6
I'm
and 8.
sorry.
That was 10 and. That was the 10th hole he won that match.
Oh, is that right?
Up
Okay,
10 with
okay,
8 to
okay. I don't
play,
know why
10
I
and 8.
mixed that up. That's right.
Yeah,
That was
and that's
Stephen
Ames that
Yeah.
ripped on Tiger for some dumb
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Just had it
Yeah,
handed
Elk
to
just
him.
seems like he's kind of a get off my lawn type guy at this
Probably,
point in his
but
life.
didn't he party with John Daly
I'm sure he did. Yeah, he
a
partied.
couple
I mean,
times? It's like, well, I remember an interview he did before these podcasts.
well, he's
with
like
Jim
a
Rome.
regular on Jim Rome. Yeah.
He did an interview with Jim Rome about over a decade ago, where he was talking about John Daly.
Thank
and
you.
Rome was asking him,
just
you know,
messes.
so were you able to keep up with him? And he said, no, JD's a professional, mate. That's what he. So they were playing rugby. Seriously, these guys were like tackling each other, playing rugby, and pounding them till whatever a.m. I mean, I feel like we went to bed at least at 2 last night, right?
Speaking of John Daly, there's a here comes Tiger. We'll see if he
This
gets
was
it
this
inside that
easy up
3-foot
and down that
circle.
you were talking about.
No, you said
Go!
most likely he'd be lucky. You said he'd be lucky to make 3.
And now he would be lucky to get up and down from there.
Yeah,
That's a
tough.
7-footer.
That's all of 7 feet.
7,
I think
8 feet.
So
Ouch.
just a quick John Daly story since you brought
He's
up
got to
his
make
name.
that. Or you guys might
So,
be right.
This is Tiger's prime, 2005-ish, I'll call it. It's relevant to me because I just played this course, Harding Park, out in San Francisco. They used to hold some events out there back in the day. They had a President's Cup, and next year the 2020 PGA Championships there. Anyway, on hole 18, the guy I was playing with, Matt Bevilacqua, told me this story. He's like, you remember when Tiger, he's still jacked, but in 2005, nobody could get over how big Tiger was. And he just, and when Tiger really goes after it, everybody knows. You can tell, like, oh boy, he lashed at that. And he just, bombed it down the fairway. Long story short, Daly puts his cigarette on the tee marker. Got that little, prime Daly. I think he was maybe pushing 4 bills
D-Lo
at that
style.
point. And he just kind of long and smooth and got Tiger by like 10, 15 yards. Like the most
Was he wearing
freakish
Zubas?
robot athlete. And it looked like he was hitting,
Oh
a
my
pitching
goodness.
wedge 120 yards and it
Yes.
just went.
Yes. In the words of Elk, no, I can't drink with him. He's a professional, mate. All right, so
You want to
Tiger's
talk
got
about
8
a guy,
feet.
you want to talk
Francesco
about an
Mariani.
underrated player. John Daly might be one of the top 20 players of our lifetime.
So because they went to threesomes, we got to point this out too. Tiger now is in the last group.
Yeah,
because they went to
yes.
threesomes.
This
That's going to be
isn't
short.
his
That's
putt,
a
is
kick
it?
in for par for Molinari.
Okay. Okay, so Tiger could
Tiger
lose
and
that
Molinari
word, yeah.
are in the same group,
Gracias.
along with Koepka, correct? Is that the third or Finau? So what a threesome there. That's an advantage, I think, for Tiger too. The fact that thunderstorms later today were playing this round earlier by about 4 hours earlier than what they were going to.
Yeah. Yeah, so and you thought that would have worked out
So
for
it's
some of,
threesomes instead
some
of
of the
twosomes.
wedding guests that were here because I thought, oh, you know what? They'll be able to watch this in their
Absolutely.
rooms
Except for no
prior
TV
to their
works.
flights. Except for no TV is working on the entire resort. I think we mentioned that, but we were fortunate.
In the actual rooms.
Right,
So you
yeah.
got to come to one of the 15 bars.
Well,
they have.
we worked this out with the resort a long
Yeah.
time ago to do this
So
live
this is a
broadcast
par.
in
This
the
is
studio. So
I feel like this putt is huge. This is 7.5 feet for par. This is
this old Tiger,
oh, that's
we
8
know.
feet. Yeah,
Tiger
that's 8 or 9
3.0.
feet. That's a long.
I think
putt.
it's 10 or 12. But I mean, I have bad depth perception.
No, I'm with you. That ain't 7.
So,
That's
Chris,
all
this
of
is
9.
another thing we talk about every year, but we don't get to talk about it based off of experience. We talk about it because, with HD TV, whatever, like
Right.
how much, like, we can't appreciate the slopes and the way that this course is set up, correct?
Well, the elevation,
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I think when you're there, the thing that gets you about it is exactly that, and you'll hear that the hills are. TV doesn't do him justice, and he missed that short putt or missed that 10-footer. The place is as stunning as you could imagine, but it's huge. It's just massive, big open spaces, more than what you could. I always sort of envision it as being a very beautiful country club style golf course that you would be. But when you're there, there's a massiveness to it. It's really something.
Massive.
Are you
as
trying
in-
to tell us that you'd be comfortable hitting driver there?
Well, no, I wouldn't hit driver.
No, what do you mean by massive though?
It's just there's just big panoramas. It's a very
Okay.
it's very there are large open spaces, and
But-
it just has a very big feel to it. It doesn't look.
Sure,
There's something
sure.
about on TV where I always felt like it looks like a tight kind of constricted
not,
course, and it's just got these massive hills and a lot of
But
space.
isn't that the bit though? When you're other than on a tee box, you're always going to not have a level stance. I mean, the ball's either going to be above or below your feet.
That certainly seems
every
like
time.
it would be the case. We spent a day on number 5, which they're about to go to, and there were 0 pars there on Sunday, or 0 birdies. Not a
Sure.
single player made a birdie on 5. It's a super hard par 4.
Yeah.
And we spent a lot of time there, and spent a lot of time on 16, which is kind of cool in the sense that you can watch the approach shots coming into 15.
And then
You watch
and then
16,
par
which
3,
of course
16.
on
So are you
Sunday's got the dramatic.
So when you're there,
pinpoint.
is that a grandstand or are you on the
Yeah,
ground?
there's a grandstand. We had chairs. We were on the ground right up at the rope. I
Okay.
was sitting, right on the pond.
How much do you
on
want to be him?
16. And it was.
That was the year Charles Schwartzel won, correct?
Charles Schwartzel won it. There was, we talk about Tiger and sort of the aura. What I thought was, we were on 5 and Tiger had just gone and he made an eagle on 8.
Okay.
To tie for the lead. McIlroy, this is a year, if you remember, Rory Mcilroy had a 4-shot lead going in the last round, and he had a complete meltdown. He
Yeah.
turned into a 10 handicap on the back 9. He shot a 40.
Well,
He shot a 43.
Hole 10,
on
he
the
hit it
back.
into somebody's yard on hole 10
He
and
hit it
ended up
left,
making an 8 on
and
that
then
hole, I
he-
think.
Yeah, he made a. I think he made
I
a
think
7
quad.
or 8. Then
Yeah.
it just went sideways from there. But I remember Tiger eagling 8 to take a share of the lead, and that place
roar.
went nuts. It was so cool.
You don't
So,
think
yeah.
that's going to happen today? That bogey hurts. I'm sorry. He just
Yeah,
edged it. I mean,
well, I
he
mean,
had that.
We know in this tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, but that.
Well, I think what'll be
I'm
interesting.
getting to your side when he misses when he makes a bogey there.
The thing you're going to need to see is Molinari's going to need to
Oh,
lose
gentlemen,
a little bit of his roboticness.
now the tournament started.
Is if Molinari screws up, and
And he just
now
did.
He just hit it way
launched
right on
one
5.
like I
And
did
so-
about 17
yeah,
times
and
yesterday.
so that's going to be very, very hard to make 4 from there.
Redemption Monday. Well, I hope.
So
So is it you and I that got to play against these guys? I'll try to
one
play better.
last comment or
On-
one
on
last
his
question
experience.
in regards
What year was that,
to
Chris?
so when you
2011.
when you see the flyovers and there's no gallery of this place, it just looks like empty land. Did you get there early enough to see, or was it just people upon people?
Yeah, it was a big. I mean, it's a big crowd.
Yeah,
it's
it's gonna
very
be
under
okay.
control, and they do a really good job of like. There were some you could appreciate that to some degree, but yeah, there's so many stands and there's so much of that. Everything is run. It's run so beautifully, and I think. I can't imagine being there when it's empty, but that would be something else. The other thing, you know what else you can't do? You can't run. There's no running at Augusta. We had gotten in there and we're like, ooh, we're going to go to this one spot by number 7. We kind of had scoped out before we got in.
We're
And
at
I took off
Hazeltine,
and
you'll
talking. I
sprint.
just broke into kind of a slow jog, and somebody said, "Oh no, no," and I'm like, "Okay, don't kick me out. I'll walk. I'll do whatever." You feel like you're being here. Yeah.
You're at their mercy.
Yeah, you.
But
you
beers are
definitely-
$3 a
you're-
piece.
Yeah, you.
No, these guys, both of them, by the
yeah.
way, and Chris just
Stretch
mentioned
it.
how tough this 5th hole is. And both Brooks and Finau are into the patrons, deep into the patrons.
Speaking of
And he just talked about how tough this par 4 is.
Speaking of how they run things and the no running and all that, they have such control over this TV production as well. Credit to the Masters for putting that yellow flight
Allowing
tray.
him to do that, and I
Yeah,
agree.
I mean, that's great.
Well, if you want to go down this road, I know you have some connections with Augusta National, and who's now in charge of it, right? Wasn't
Fred
it- remember
Ridley.
at your-
That's right.
the
I
course that you
bartended at his daughter's
So
wedding.
this-
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Fred Ridley.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this tournament went from, I mean, let's just call it what it is. Up until 1982, it had to be all black caddies.
That's correct. Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
they've come
the
a long
Martha
way.
Burke thing, no women members, no women, and then that.
Did you? You're getting to the.
I'm getting to, it's getting back
How about
to
the Augusta, whatever, the Augusta
Absolutely.
Championship or whatever that
the
tournament
women's
is?
amateur that
The
was
women's
last
amateur.
weekend there, and they've done
That was
drive,
great
chip,
golf.
and putt there for a couple of years. Yeah,
That was exciting
so
golf.
it is. I am glad that they're. Never mind the TV stuff, and that's part of it. I still think on Saturday they should let us watch at 10 a.m. I mean, why do we got to
agree.
wait until 2?
I agree. I
but,
agree.
But they have come around.
Everything's always done on their time.
Oh,
Correct.
absolutely. That's
Correct.
right. That's right.
You alluded to.
Yeah, everything's done on their time.
You alluded to Martha Burke and realized that they let her completely disappear off the face of the earth before they finally made those changes. It had nothing to do with they would not be in any way pressured, and they did.
But
they did
there
it
was
when
a
they were ready to
there
do
was
it.
a correlation.
But wasn't it almost a decade later?
No, a
that
few
they had
years later.
that they got a female member.
Condoleezza Rice is
To
the
your
first
point,
woman
though,
member,
Chris,
by the way.
they did say, you know what, we're not going to, and Muirfield Village did the same thing, and I still don't know if they allow women members over there in Scotland
What's that?
for the RNA.
Dude, you want to know, I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry, Muirfield. Yeah, not the one in Ohio. Yeah.
in case you didn't know this, the most racist people are in England. That's where it started.
is
I mean,
correct.
I'm sorry.
Well, look at this.
You think our Southerners?
We've
Step
got a
in,
live
KO.
audience, Craig
Step in,
Olson.
KO. Craig Olson,
Oh,
who's
boy.
going to kick our butt tomorrow, Phil.
So Jay, I'm going to let you kind of explain your subtle joke that involved Craig and I last night.
Oh, that's fine. So this is the Masters podcast again, KRFORadio.com. We're watching
Reintroducing
Front Nine
ourselves.
coverage
How you
of the
doing, Kale?
Masters.
Kind of giggly.
And we got Craig Olson now, who a noted awesome blossom. You can explain it, Phil. I mean,
Okay. Anyway,
whatever.
so
you take it over.
you did a nice little jab at me, and it was funny because KO. We don't really have the joke going, but a lot of our friends, we both played quarterback.
Both of you played quarterback for Blooming Prairie.
One of us threw the ball, the other one didn't, and
Yeah.
it was. If you look
And
at
he
the
was
books,
right after you.
It's not very hard.
You
to
handed
figure
the
out
torch to him, right?
Which one did? Yeah, I handed it off. Yes.
Well, but
and then he passed
but then
it.
he played quarterback the next year, and that's when Blooming Prairie got good. I mean,
And
that's
they've had
what
a million good quarterbacks since
happened.
then.
Since then, I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the wedding
Craig,
last night,
how has
I'm
your
giving the best
experience
man
been here?
speech. and-
What's going on?
What an incredible resort. Perfect weather, good people. What else could you ask for? Oh, and the food and the beer.
What about TV? What about the Masters in your room? You could ask for that.
Masters was in the room.
No. I'm
Not
talking
this
about, is
morning,
your
it wasn't.
TV working?
Yeah, isn't your TV working?
No.
Is that a
so-
Ghostbusters moment? So
Yeah.
everybody, I turned my TV up too.
Yeah, right.
Everybody thought their TV had something wrong with it.
Craig had a little bit later night than we did, as it turns out. I thankfully went back.
I
went
think
to
it
bed
like
at about
one.
12:20, and so
Where did
Craig,
you go,
Craig
Craig?
was on a little heater last night. He seems to be a little bit slower talking than typically. He's kind of Craig -1 right now, but I think he'll probably get going.
Well, where did
You
you
know-
go, Craig?
You went to the casino.
Play cards at the casino? Until what hour? Until 4
That's a great
a.m..
Night.
All right.
Hey, that makes
I
up
couldn't even-
for
I couldn't
the
even
last
see
wedding
what
we were at.
the
out
difference
till
between a
for,
spade and a heart. I
Tommy
don't
Kramer's,
know how you did
where
that.
I won 500 and you tried to win yours back.
I won him back in to get even.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were playing. So Jeep had never played Ultimate Hold'em, so we just played Ultimate Hold'em and just sat down the entire time. And Jeep had never played it before, and so within 5 hands, he gets a payout. So there's this like dollar that you put into part of the jackpot
Yep.
that you could potentially win, and then he puts like.
This is in the
$20
poker
on it.
room.
20. Yeah. No. So it's not a poker. It's like you against the dealer. It's like a black.
Oh, gotcha. So rather table games. Yep.
So there's a trips bet, there's an ante, and then there's like a play line. G put like $20 on all of those. He hits a straight flush, which is a 40-1 payout.
Doesn't like it.
It's a good start to the day.
I don't know why he
Jeep-
doesn't like it,
Jeep-
and it's
Jeep
right
did-
there.
Yeah, just like that. But then in addition to that, you get 250 to 1 off the jackpot. So his $1 bet got him 250 out of the jackpot pot.
Jeep went deep and it paid off. Wow.
So then what happened is he gave $600 to Alicia, and Alicia went back to the room.
Sure.
And Jeep continued to play out with me the rest of the night. Oh, Molinari. Oh,
Yeah, these guys are all
short-sided
wide.
them over the green
No, I
on
think that's
par
Finau.
green.
Molinari's is right in front of the green.
Oh,
I think
got it.
that Molinari's is right there. So this is Tiger's the
This
only one
is
that
hole
hit
5.
the
This is the
fairway.
hole that Chris said he spent an entire day on and nobody birdied it.
Nobody
back
birdied-
right
yeah.
now?
Tiger's
one back.
He's 2 back now.
Two back,
He
two
bogeyed.
back.
He made a bogey in the
Yeah.
par 4 fourth.
So here he's got 218 here. I
Par
think
3
if he
fourth,
just
my
puts it
bad.
anywhere on the dance floor,
Way right.
that's not good, right?
Ah! Really? That's on the
Stick on
green.
there.
He'd be lucky to get down a 2 from there. I won't say that ever again.
Possible putt.
What's okay? So yeah, I mean, what? Anything inside 6 feet is pretty good for a lag putt there.
Hey, how can you get away with the whole T-shirt?
T-shirt.
It's Tiger. I mean, he can kind of do what he wants.
Tiger can wear what if it's
The
red.
mock collar.
Oh, they ain't
Yeah, my
trust.
dad wore a
We hit on
t-shirt
this
to the,
earlier, KO.
rehearsal. I mean, that was fun.
Here's Rickie Fowler. I don't know how far. Okay, so here's Finau. They're gonna replay this shot.
Rickie's gonna have a duel.
No, that's live. That's live. He's all over it. So now Tiger's in the.
That's way short.
Well, but funny, off the tee, Finau and Molinari are into the patrons, and Tiger's in the fairway. Now Tiger's got 50 feet, and these guys just have a little uphill.
They're not doing 3 people. Per
Yes, yeah, threesomes,
Instead of doing split.
and go off of both. I think.
So,
Split tees
so
and
if
threesomes.
you take
This
notice,
is 5 hours earlier than they would have teed off, Craig.
So let's talk about Tiger's last 2 iron shots. He was at least a club and a half short on 4,
Yeah.
and he was probably a distance-wise, it looked like he was a little long here.
Short.
Oh, is he short?
He was short
Oh,
right.
he's short right. Okay, so
He's hit 2
If-
very
if-
bad iron shots.
if you don't have
Which
you know
we've all
distance control around here, and you're not putting it in the right spot, it's going to be a tough Sunday.
I want to get KO's take on this. I still contend that an hour from now, this is a victory lap for Tiger. Now, what's happened in the last 20 minutes changes my thought a little bit, but I really think this is
You
lined up
think
to.
him being down 2 with 14 to go is a victory lap
He
for
w-
Tiger?
dude, he was down 1 10 minutes ago. He was down 1. He had made a birdie. He just walked in a birdie on 3 like he knew
No
it,
way.
just no problem.
Tiger's one of the arguably the greatest
gonna win this?
closers of all time, but coming back on Sunday is
Coming
a really,
back,
is
he's
a
2 down.
really difficult thing. Yeah,
And they're right
down
there
2
with him.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I think.
Who do you
the
got
winner's
then,
gonna-
Molinari?
Molinari. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I think
We talked about this,
Molinari.
$10 bet on this, Jason. You and I
we
did.
do?
Well,
Then
Jay,
that's-
I don't know if you know this, but in our pool, I have both Finau and Molinari, and I'm hardly cheering.
Whoa,
I'm
is that
cheering-
a fact?
That is a fact. I am cheering
That
for.
I owe
I
you
gave
money
you that
then.
card. You gave
Really?
it back to me. I still have it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I had Tiger and Dustin. Dustin's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
So
you have
I-
Molinari and
I did.
How did you know that? That's pretty amazing.
I mean, you kind of like you. I'm not. I don't want to like say, you know, this tournament. You can look back. The
Yeah.
best way I think
Yeah.
to. It's not
I've
about
seen
how
money
they're
before. I
playing
don't know
right now.
about-
Now I did. Molinari, I did okay. Okay, so he's really his
Yeah.
game has been
Yeah.
coming along rather nicely in the last couple of years. Finau, if you just look at where he's finished in the Master,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know, and it's a bomber's paradise. That's what you have to do here.
Correct.
Okay, and you have to make putts. Obviously, that's everywhere you play, but especially here. Finau is a streaky good putter, and he hits it a country mile. Okay. Molinari's not short by any means, but he's not long, but he puts the lights out. Okay? This is not a hobby for Molinari. He's very good.
It's not a hobby for any of them, but there's a mental
He's
aspect
arguably
to
one of
this.
the top golfers over the past 10 months.
Of course. Well, Jason asked me why
You can
I
break
picked,
down stats
So in
all
our
day.
pool, I have both
I think there's a
Finau
mental
and
aspect to
Molinari.
this.
And he's like, oh, wow, what made you pick those guys? And it's for Finau, I was like, oh, he's just a bomber. And he's a streaky good putter, and that's
All
what you
right,
have to
fine.
do around here. But
All right, so this is his 3rd shot. Oh, that's a big high pitch that he damn near made, but he's still going to have about 7-8 feet deep of that. What did he do there? I'd have putted that wide putt
He's
from
not
everywhere,
in.
but he hit a
Look at
a
that
high
slope.
wedge. He took a 60-degree wedge, opened it up.
misses that ridge.
It comes all the way back.
Yeah.
But now he's got
Yeah.
8-9 feet down the hill.
Look at this. Kepka's got hands.
And I thought I would have put my money on Koepka as far as, and Koepka still is just 2 down.
Yeah. If I take a 60 from that tight of a lie, it's
my
50-50
goodness.
whether it's, it could be inside
Yeah.
5 feet. It could be, 50 yards over the green.
I bet Tiger chuckled when he saw that. I bet he had a good laugh to himself. All
About
right,
the way
whatever.
that he decided to navigate that shot.
he was like,
not?
there's
there's
one
one
other at the
behind
bar.
it.
It took forever to get this one on KO. We had Meet the Press here for the first 20 minutes of this.
Jay, I gotta get going here in a little bit. I've got.
so do we. So we got about 10 minutes left.
So I've got the wedding exit interview.
I got to get back and talk to Shannon.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Jared Reeson, by the way, that guy,
And I'll
the
come right-
officiant
I'll
of our
come right
wedding.
back
That
here,
was
guaranteed.
that was great.
I'm just going to go to my room quick. I'll be right back here. Oh, hey,
All
how's
right,
it going?
let's do a little selfie here. Chase,
yes,
get in here,
sir. This is very odd that this is our Masters podcast, and this is the final round at Augusta, and it's going to end at noon.
This is a,
Our
we're not
on
actually
location.
Usually it's on location in either
in my
place
basement or his
Jason's
place. Yeah, we rotate
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
did-
No, there was a kid that
Chris is
showed up
mentioning
and
that
was
we
like,
had a live audience
he
for a
thought
couple
that was
minutes, and
pretty funny.
that was
So anyway-
neat. He kind of came over like, "What's going on
Yeah.
here?" So
He wanted to have a take, and we talked other sports. I don't know, Twins. I love the Twins this year. I would just throw that out
it
there.
was a kind of a scatterbrained discussion about everything.
Yeah.
KO literally just walked out of the casino from last night. Hasn't been back to the room.
Should we talk about how exciting about draft
Give a
we
mic
got
on
coming
that.
up here?
Say it again. Say it again.
We have an exciting draft coming up here for the Vikings. It's going to be pretty important. Then also we have a pretty important postseason for the T-Wolves. We have an outside chance. What if we have the 3%? We get the number 1 pick. We get Zion.
Then
What
you
if
get the
Zion's
guy
coming
from
to
Duke,
Minnesota?
and
Okay, I know Towns isn't Zion, but wasn't Towns going to be our Zion?
No chance. They're,
But I'm talking 4 years ago.
Towns is
He's
still really
good, but he
he's
ain't-
like a
I understand that, but wasn't he supposed to change the franchise a little bit?
I think
I
the
think so.
franchise is hamstrung. Is that the right verbiage there? With Wiggins' contract, and with Wiggins not fulfilling a max player contract right now.
Yeah, but you got to have a max player.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be Towns.
Jay,
if
what's
you
up,
guys,
buddy?
if you guys are trying to say that Carl Anthony Towns is better than Zion,
Oh, I'm
you're
not saying
kidding
that,
yourself.
buddy. I'm just saying the Wolves have been in that
You
position
get Zion,
before.
he's a different deal.
Tiger.
What's he got left? He should have grabbed his 60 from the green.
That's 12 feet. That's 12, 15 feet that he's got left for par. And
So how you feeling now, Jay?
well, I don't know.
Is this
I
a
mean,
victory lap, or is he
Molinari's
going to have to
Molinari's
have
got it
a?
downhill later in the- Oh, you guys are being proven right by the moment here. But
Ugh.
I called my shot. Tiger made a birdie.
Yeah.
I felt real good about it, and now I don't. I'm not
Well,
gonna lie.
Like
Back
I
nine
said,
on Sunday. That's when this stuff starts.
I'm going to have to
Second
take off
9 on
here in a
Sunday.
little bit, though,
Okay.
guys.
2 minutes you got left?
Yeah, I got 2 minutes.
2 minutes
Sure.
left. All right. So, Phil, this is an incredible wedding week.
It's been amazing. It
That's
really
an
has.
understatement.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a phenomenal spot, and everything's been awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
this is pretty cool. The four of
So
us get
we
to
appreciate
play.
you having us.
The four of us get to
obviously.
play golf together
Yeah,
on
we're gonna
Monday.
play golf tomorrow.
And hey, let's talk about that. Let's get some predictions
All right,
on
this is-
tomorrow's match.
All right,
okay?
this is your parting shot
boys,
for the podcast. You
boys,
want to talk
listen
about
up
tomorrow's
here.
match?
KO, I'm gonna interrupt you just for a
I gotta
second
hit
here.
something straight
So we've
off
got
the
we've
tee.
got a big match coming up tomorrow. Let's talk
That'll
about the
be fine.
tees. What's your
I'm a little nervous. Do you guys know who can correct a back here?
okay? So we've heard about
I don't
KO's
know.
back now for since February, and all right. Well,
What are you,
having
Lisa
said that,
Meschke?
we're gonna do. I
Not academic moves, guys.
yeah. I think we're gonna do the Yacovinos versus
I think
these
that's how
two.
it's got to go. I got to hit it
And
to the fairway.
I don't know
We'll
what
be fine.
maybe Monte Carlo. I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
I
that
like
could
the
be
Monte
fun.
Carlo.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
And
Yeah.
I like our chances. I'll be getting what?
I hope. We
11
got a
or
lot of
12 out
strokes
there.
there.
You get 14,
13, yeah.
14. Okay.
13. Well,
KO,
when we
what,
play from back, it'll be
what
14.
was your course on that?
So 6,700 is what we got to
Chase
play.
just said the winner is 1,500. We should bet on that, by the way. You said 16 or higher. Chase just said 15.
I think 16
love
gets
that
you.
call.
16 gets you in a playoff. 17 wins it.
I'm with
They're
Chase
gonna go
right
nuts
now.
on the back
He said
nine.
15, and I think he's dead right.
That means Tiger's got to go.
Just wet.
Conditions are fine. They're just playing before the storms come. All right, so that'll do it. Chris Denzel, Craig Olson, Nick James earlier. Thanks for coming along. Phil,
Hey,
this is pretty.
this has been epic.
This
Has been very.
Never forget
Of course,
this
I'll
week.
never forget this week, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. And this is awesome.
All right, that's the Master Podcast. We'll do it again next year.